Welcome, YouTube family. Today we're here, me, Ali, and Masi. The rest of the boys took the day off, so it's just us. There's a few topics we're gonna break down, like the Houston-Boston game, and we gotta talk about Tom Brady's free agency, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, a lot going on in the world of sports right now.
Yeah. Before we get into that, and this is something that I was thinking about when I saw the NFL Combine. I know it's a little curveball I'm throwing at you, but I want to keep it as authentic as possible. So I was watching Tua when he first came into the league, that's being the college football. And what's impressive is, and I see it now, what most of these guys share, the similarity is when Tua won that game, the first thing he said was, I want to thank God and I want to thank my parents. And that got me thinking, right? I was like, here are these young men, and especially to come out, say something like that, and acknowledging the sacrifices their parents made, right? Like how many of us acknowledge our parents and the trials and tribulations they went through to give us what we have. So I know this is like really way out there, but I was really thinking about it a lot with the NFL Combine, and you're probably gonna see this going throughout the NFL draft and stuff. I think that's pretty neat of them, and it's something that I really wanted to acknowledge. I know it's, like I said, it's a curveball, and I probably caught you off guard on it, but I wanted to keep it authentic and keep it real. And shout out to all the parents that make sacrifices on the daily for their children. If you want to share any thoughts, I know it's all of a sudden, but it's something me and you, like way back, we've always talked about our parents and how much they mean to us. So I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for them, we'd probably even be here, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course. As our parents are immigrants, so we kind of feel it more than anyone coming here and struggling to build a life for us. And it goes down to a lot of people's parents. And to see these guys in the top of their stage kind of acknowledge that, and they know that a lot of young fans are watching, a lot of kids look up to them. It's a great message to send out because, of course, 100%, our parents have done so much for us, all the sacrifices, and most of these athletes that come from more impoverished backgrounds and everything, single moms, single dads. As you can see, LeBron's mom was a single mom.
Yeah.
All these top athletes, Kevin Durant with his MVP speech. I think it's great because, you know what, we need to let the younger generation, these people that look up to them, understand that how big of a role the parents play in our life, to our upbringings, to their sacrifices to give us a better life. And like I said, we understand it a little, like, I'm not better, but in a sense, as being they were immigrants to come to a new country and bring us to this point in life, send us to school and all that. So it's definitely something that I think should be said more, and it is being said, and I condone them for that.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it up because I know you'll be surprised. Parents do watch this channel, so I want to keep them in our discussions and let them know how much they mean to me and us, and their support is always appreciated. With that being said, let's jump into the Rockets and Boston game last night. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the full game, but I did go back and watch the highlights. It was a thrilling game. I did watch the fourth quarter for sure. The back and forth. Boston, they led the game most of the time.
Most of the game.
Yeah, and then the Rockets came back. But I just wanted to talk about the players in the game. And, man, talk about Jason Tatum, bro. This young cat could ball. He's been averaging like 30 points the last 5 games. Shout out to him. And Westbrook had a really good game. I know a lot of people, right? They say, oh, Westbrook is this and that, but he got 40 points in that game. What are your thoughts on that game? And we're gonna talk about more about the small ball with the Rockets.
Oh yeah, I mean they're kind of trying to try something that's so much different. Like I was growing up, it was all about the big man. You
Right,
know,
right.
you had Shaq, you had Duncan, you had all these greats that you just put it down low and you let them go to work. The small ball is definitely for Rockets is working, but we got to see what happens when you go into the playoffs, when you play a bigger team. But as far as Tatum, I mean, yeah, he's growing up right in front of our eyes. I mean, every year he's improving. And that team has a lot of great young players. I mean, even Marcus Smart, he's hitting big threes for them.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jaylen Brown contributing and really showing. So yeah, I think Boston is on the rise, and they've all been in the rise. But I still feel like they're missing something. I don't know what it is, but hopefully Tatum can elevate a little bit even more and take that position. But as far as even on the other side with the Rockets, I mean, Westbrook is having a year. Like, I mean, we have seen him do triple double season and all that, but to play in that system, he dropped 41 last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's averaging about 30, 40 points the month of February. So yeah, it was a great game, and it's a lot of great young talent and very exciting for the NBA overall.
Yeah, I wanted to add on what you said with the Rockets small ball. Honestly, I think it works now, but I don't think it's going to work in the playoffs. I know they have Tyson Chandler in the bench, and I think they're going to probably use him more when it comes to playoff time. Because think about it. Let's say they face a team like the Lakers. Bro, between Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and LeBron James, yeah, all you got to do is throw it in the post and let those guys go to work. I don't see how Rockets is going to handle that. What say you?
I mean, I like I said, it's working now. And we're gonna see in the playoffs. But in the same time, I kind of trying to look at the other side of it, as in, it's always like that when somebody tries something new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the NBA has changed so much. Now they're going to the 3-point. It's more even the big men are stepping outside and trying to shoot. Now, if you're a big man and you can't shoot a 3, it's like, whoa, what is wrong with him? He needs a shot, you know? So
Yeah.
as far as that goes, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how the league handles it. I mean, if they go in there and kind of demolish everybody with their speed going up and down, I think they can change the NBA. But in the same time, they have to prove it's a hypothesis. Right?
Yeah.
They need to test it out. I don't know how much D'Antoni can test anymore, honestly, with the Rockets. I mean, they've been in the playoffs getting kicked out, trying all different things.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting. It will definitely be interesting in the playoffs.
Yeah, he definitely took like Golden State's ideology of small ball. But the thing is, like you said, you said about the Celtics, but with Rockets, they're missing the piece, and that's Kevin Durant. And they don't have that. The reason why the Warriors worked when they went to that death lineup is because they had KD playing center.
But you still had Iguodala. You still had these great defenders. You
Right,
had
right.
people. You had a deep bench. I feel like they still had some size.
But KD had the height. Like, yeah,
No, yeah.
That's important, height. Okay, going back to the last shot of last night's game before overtime, it was actually a free throw by Jason Tatum. If the Rockets had a big man there, they could have secured that ball easily. But what happened? It slips out of James Harden's hand, and Jaylen Brown hits a 3. Yeah, they still won the game. But if you had a big man, I don't think you'd be in that situation.
And another thing you're really missing is, I mean, I know Harden can step out, hit the 3 anytime, but Westbrook's game is not Curry's game. And you had Klay Thompson, you had Curry, you had all these guys that can shoot 3. But also, like we both agree, they did have a little bit of height. They still had centers. They still had their rotation where they bring it in a big time. You can throw in that big man. Yeah. But like I said, again, if they go in the playoffs and they prove that they can work and they tire out the others where the centers can't keep up or the power forwards, but I mean, even Clippers, you got Paul George, you got Kawhi. Kawhi, he's not 6'9", 6'10", but he plays 6'9", 6'10" with his rebounds and his reach. So it'll be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, you mentioned Jason Tatum and how he's evolving. Dude, I'm a little cheesed about that because he should have been a Brooklyn Net. But they had to get bamboozled with that trade.
New York teams these days are getting bamboozled left and right. So, yeah.
So let's keep it Boston. And talk about the Patriots, about good old Tom
Ooh.
Brady. So it looks like he's entering free agency, right? I have my opinions, but I know you're a big Patriot fan. I want to hear yours. Uh, if Tom Brady stays, do you think he stays? If he leaves, which team better suits him? Should he leave? The floor is yours, man.
Oh, I mean, honestly, as a Patriots fan, I don't want to see him go nowhere, you
Right.
know. But in the same time, as Anna's taking a step back and just looking, he deserves it. I mean, he's been in the organization
Mm.
for so long. A six-round pick, nobody knew about. Gave a six championship, the only quarterback in the history to have six rings. So he has given Boston everything. As a Patriots fan, I would hate to see him leave, obviously. But personally, I wouldn't be mad towards him because in the past couple of years, Patriots haven't put the pieces around him, and he kind of sees the light in the end of the tunnel. So he wants to take as much opportunity to win as many rings. And honestly, I think it's a tactic. I think Tom did this to kind of wake up the Patriots like, you need to go get me weapons. Last year, a lot of people talk about his offensive weapons, but not a lot of people talk about the offensive line as far as what he
Right.
didn't have. So that's why we're here right now as a free agency. If the Patriots had put that offense for him, I think there would be no discussion of free agency. But honestly, a lot of teams can use him. Any team that is like in the cusp of winning or
Yeah.
has a great offense that you can plug Tom Brady in. I think there's going to be a lot of suitors, but I don't think he's leaving, honestly. I really don't. But if he does, I can see him in the Colts, Chargers, Raiders.
Mm.
There's a lot of teams out there that have great offense and are maybe a quarterback away. I mean, Colts would be amazing. That offensive line will protect them very well. Their defense is young and they can throw something together and they can definitely be a contender. I mean, we're talking them about them being one of the main contenders last year before their quarterback went down.
Yeah.
Andrew
Jacoby.
Luck retired, or
Yeah.
else we were talking about how the Colts could be one of those teams.
Right.
But no, to answer your question, I guess in a short version, I don't think he's leaving, and I hope he doesn't because we need him. We need Tom Brady for another run.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to leave. Although I don't know if you saw the clip with him and Julian Edelman. I forget where they were. So
Oh, they were in the college basketball game with Syracuse, and I think I forget who they're playing, but I know which club you're talking about.
so a thing I didn't notice is when Julian Edelman said he's coming back. I don't know if you saw it. So Tom Brady kind of like shook his head and said he's not. Now I don't know. You could speculate this any way you want, whatever. I personally think he's gonna come back. It'll be kind of foolish for him to leave because, as you mentioned, he's been with the organization for so long. Yeah, does he deserve to get paid? Of course. I mean, what he's done for them and all those years of taking pay cuts, definitely. And to your statement, the Patriots did actually give him some weapons. AB in the beginning of the year, yeah, we know what happened. They traded that second round pick for Mohamed Sanu. So they definitely did try and drafting N'Keal Harry in the first round, where Bill Belichick doesn't draft wide receivers in the past, I don't know, 10 years. So they so they definitely tried. Do I think they're gonna obviously give him more? For sure, for sure, that's something they'll do. I like I said, he shouldn't leave, but I don't know, man. If he does, the options are so limited. I don't see him going to the Colts only because that's Payton's house. Like, do you really want to go somewhere where Payton's statues outside? And I don't see him and Giselle in Indianapolis. Tennessee, Vrabel, it's Tennessee, bro. I don't know. But you know what? The Chargers make sense. I think if he goes anywhere, the Chargers make sense. They have the running backs, they have good weapons, and Derwin James, when he gets back in that secondary, they're gonna be a good all around team. It's LA, TB12. I saw Tom versus Time. That was a good documentary. Very well done. So there's branding there. Vegas, it's just too loopy, bro. That Do you really want to go to an organization where the owner's got like a bowl Jim Carrey Dumb and Dumber haircut?
I'm sorry to cut you off really quickly, but my point is not like that's where he's gonna go. I'm saying those are the teams that are gonna be pursuing him.
Right.
Those are the teams that are gonna try to get him, and their second option will be the draft. So I think he's holding up a lot of other teams as far as his decision goes. But I don't think he's leaving either. I mean, he should come back. But it was more offensive line last year. It was them not having the tight end. Like that offense is very, very tight end oriented. The way they want to run. I mean, we have linebackers catching passes. We had a linebacker catch a touchdown. So as far as that goes, I don't think it's the lack of trying. I think it was just more. You expect more from Belichick if you really want to go out there and get the weapons for him. You don't get AB who's already suspended. You don't pay Sanu, trade a second round for Sanu. I mean, he wasn't getting open. That the line was crumbling down. I don't know. I think it's more the offensive line. They need to protect him better than the pieces outside.
Well, with Sanu, now the reports come out, he had like a foot thing, so that might have messed him up. Dude, again, the Patriots is his best option because they have the defense. They were the best defense last year, so they don't have many holes. Okay, like you said, tight end, they definitely can they get a over the top wide receiver for sure. They could go for Stephon Diggs. I know he wants out of Vikings, so imagine a Tom Brady and Stephon Diggs combo, but. It's going to be tough. I'm interested as the draft gets closer. What do you think the Patriots should do? Even if they retain Tom Brady, do you go out and draft a quarterback? Because
you have to.
Yeah, Tom Brady, I think he can't play forever. So
no, you definitely have to draft a quarterback, whether is that something that maybe one of these top quarterbacks fall in your lap because there's so many great weapons in the draft this year. You have a lot of offensive linemen. I think they need to go for an offensive lineman in the first round, but they need to draft a quarterback, whether that's third round, fourth round. Bill Belichick could find a diamond in the rough easily, but we'll see. They definitely have to at least think about a successor because we don't have one right now. Definitely don't have one.
So here's a team that you did not say, and it's a team we both hate, Cowboys. What if Tom Brady goes to the Cowboys? Do you see him? I think he'll have success there, bro. That team is a good team. As much as I don't like the Cowboys, they're a good team. And again, it's not a good fit because of Jerry Jones and how loopy he is. He's like an egotistic maniac, but I think the Cowboys would be also. You're like, damn, you really brought that.
I mean, I didn't want to say it. I really didn't. Because anybody that knows me well, they know that I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I can say it right. All the Cowboy fans, you guys suck. I'm sorry. You can hate whatever you want. You guys are the most obnoxious fans in the game. I'd rather lose 10 Super Bowls to the Giants than even a playoff game to you guys. So that being said, yeah, I mean, that would be an amazing place if you if Jerry Jones wants to win, and he has talked about how he's in the end of his kind of life as far as football and career and everything goes. I mean, imagine Tom Brady with Amari Cooper, that front line, Elliott in the back, that defense. For 1 year, you're not going to get a lot, but then what do you do with Dak Prescott?
Yeah, you're going to have to let him walk. But I'll tell you what, I hate to say it, I think that team could be a Super Bowl contender, bro.
Oh, 100%.
With Tom Brady. And I know people are like, but Kellen Moore is there. Nah. Tom Brady's going to run that offense. Similar to like Payne, I think Tom Brady would implement a lot of what he likes and doesn't like. So here's the question. Okay, if Tom Brady leaves, what are the options for the Patriots? What do you think they do? They don't have a backup plan currently.
Honestly, as a Patriot fan, I think it's time to rebuild if Tom does leave.
Like break it all down?
Break it all down, honestly, because you know what? I want to see long success. I don't want
Right,
to be one of those franchises where every year we're hoping, like the Giants, keep paying Eli 22 million
Bro, we're in
dollars,
rebuild
hoping.
now.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not criticizing. I mean,
No, I know.
they try to give a Hall of Famer Eli Manning like kind of a couple of more shots to make it.
Yeah.
But now hindsight, looking at it, you're like, we could have built this from like 2 years ago.
Right.
So as far
Agree.
as that goes, I'd rather see them break it down, as much as that pains me to say, as much as it will be hard as a Patriot fan, and even just NFL in general. Imagine the Patriots not being in it every year. Like, we're not accustomed to that. We are.
Yeah.
How many years has it been? I mean, all our teenage years life.
Yeah,
that's
20
all
years.
we saw. 20 years, all we saw Patriots. So it'd be weird, but I think Belichick is one of those coaches that can do it and vamp it up a little bit, like the Yankees. They took 1 year where they broke everything down. They traded most of their people. And the next year, they were almost a game away from the World Series. So I would see them. I would like to see them to just break it down, trade down, stock up picks, and let Belichick do his magic and kind of build the team all over it. But they have a lot of great defensive pieces that they can probably trade and get some more picks and do something with it. But if he doesn't come back, I would like to see a rebuild, because there's no options. There's no options.
Right.
I'm sorry. There's no quarterback out there that you're gonna come and plug into the system that's gonna give you a chance with, and it's more about the other teams in the A division. Like, you got Kansas City, you got Baltimore, you got all these teams that are getting rise. Even the Giants. Now you guys have your quarterback. You guys are kind of building. The Jets got their quarterback. I mean, they're a couple of more years back, but your transition has already started. So yeah, strip it down, rebuild, and compete.
Yeah, I think because I really love Bill Belichick and what he meant to the Giants. I'm a huge Giants fan. What I see them doing if Tom Brady leaves is probably draft a quarterback. I think they're going to draft a quarterback. They'll bring in somebody like Andy Dalton, a bridge quarterback to just hold it down for a few years. Now, is there a quarterback out there that will help them possibly compete? Maybe a Teddy Bridgewater. I know. How about Jameis Winston? Like, okay, he has all those turnovers, but what if Belichick and if McDaniel stays, can they correct that? Imagine someone like that. The options are not much, but I think there are some quarterbacks that could definitely help you be competitive. But if Tom Brady leaves, then yes, they would have to draft a quarterback. If not, like you said, go to a complete rebuild, tank the season, and go for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's it, right?
I mean, like I said, it's more about the other teams that are so much better at this point, like the Ravens, like Kansas City, and Patrick Mahomes is just getting better.
Yeah.
So I think it's more about them rather than the Patriots itself.
Yeah.
Will Belichick do that? Yes. As long as Belichick has a defense, that guy, he's gonna think we're gonna win. Can he pull off the 11 wins? Yeah, of course. I mean, we did it with Hasselbeck, right? When Tom Brady broke his leg that year.
Yeah.
So can Belichick find a way to win 11 games, 10 games, to sneak into the playoffs? 100% just by his coaching. But what's the point?
Yeah.
We're with us, we have 6 Super Bowls within the last 20 years. With us, it's all about Super Bowls. Just like with the Yankees, it's just not enough to get to the playoffs. It's just not enough to be there. It's about that ring. It's about that trophy. So I think it would be a better option to kind of break it down. Yeah, maybe tank for Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean?
Tank for Trevor.
Tank for Trevor already started, and we haven't even started a game in the new season. But no, he's coming back, guys. Don't worry. TB12 is Boston all day. We're gonna go and compete. I want to see a matchup with Patrick Mahomes one more time. Honestly,
yeah, you would
Tom
love
Brady.
to see that.
Or even Lamar Jackson, but more I would want to see Patrick Mahomes. As much as people would be like, that's the team you don't want to see, let's skip them. I really would love another rematch.
Right.
Like the one that we saw 2 years ago. I mean, that was a great game.
Yeah.
Patriots dominated the first half. Kansas City in the second half, and we just edged them. So, maybe one last hurrah before he hangs it up.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so that basically wraps it up for this week's episode of the Garden State Rookies podcast. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe. Until the next one, I'm Ali.
This is Mossy.
We'll see you soon.
Signing out.